If you've just digested the Stallman pill and wish to ditch the ever-increasing authoritative, lockdown operating system that is Windows or the macOS, you may get to a crossroads about which kind of desktop environment you may want to choose for your new Linux install. After all, instead of being made to use one, here in the Linux ethos, you are free to choose and change from a variety of desktop environments and window managers. So, what's the difference between a desktop environment and a window manager? To put it simply, a desktop environment will come with a collection of applications, like a text editor and a web browser, and give the user a number of window utilities like a file explorer, desktop icons and panels, while also being graphically furnished, allowing the user to navigate their files and programs with the included utilities with ease, using the mouse and keyboard. Desktop environments can include many programs you won't ever use, which has led to some being called more, quote, bloated than others. What about window managers? Well, window managers are typically less feature-rich than full-blown desktop environments, but this is by design. Window managers do not come with a collection of applications and in many cases encourage the user to modify the source code in order to make it more customized and personalized to suit the user's needs. As a result of this, window managers are typically used by the more Linux-tuned power users, but don't let that stop you from giving it a try. After all, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. Now that's the basic difference between the two, but there are many different details we're skipping over and there are many different types of desktop environments and window managers. Let's talk about some of the more popular ones, starting with the desktop environments. One of the most, if not the most popular desktop environment for fresh GNU/Linux users is Cinnamon. This desktop environment is very similar to how Windows looks, adding that bit of familiarity many new users crave. It comes with a whole host of basic applications and is generally a good starting point if you have never used another operating system other than Windows. If you are moving from the macOS to Linux, I'd advise you choose a desktop environment like GNOME, which is pretty beginner friendly and also comes with a heap of software. And to note, GNOME is the default desktop environment that Ubuntu comes with, which is why many different Linux users are already accustomed to using it. If you're wondering how to actually implement your chosen desktop environment, it's not too difficult. Many popular Linux distros like Mint and Manjaro actually let you choose from what desktop environments you want pre-installed. However, it is also possible to uninstall a desktop environment and install a different one that is to your likings. There are many different tutorials on the internet on how to do this, and it is not nearly as complicated as it may first look. But maybe get your feet wet first in a virtual machine before attempting something like that. It's very easy to mess it up as a beginner, so you want to build up that confidence first. It's only something I've ever attempted once or twice. But if you're choosing from distributions like Manjaro and Linux Mint, there's really no need to, as the more popular ones are already available pre-installed. Excluding window managers, you'll have to do that yourself. What about different window managers then? Just like desktop environments, there are many to choose from. Window managers like i3 and Awesome are popular and have lots of documentation and online tutorials on how to install and modify them. And there are also more power user-oriented window managers like DWM. As I previously stated, window managers are meant to be customized to the user's wants and needs, and do not come with any sort of collection of software or programs. Window managers also focus on minimalism. It's kind of a meme at this point, where it's nearly a challenge to not use the mouse for anything, and to de-bloat as much as you can. But window managers are just that. Window managers. No unnecessary graphical doodahs or effects or anything like that. It simply displays your window while you use the shortcuts to navigate through them. It simply displays your window, allowing you to navigate through them with your keyboard shortcuts. For a feel of what it is possible with the customization of window managers, you could check out the r/Unix porn subreddit, though be warned, the stuff you can see on there are more often than not more aesthetics than usable, but the point still goes, you can do a lot of stuff with it. But don't spend too much time on Reddit, it's not good for you. And for God's sakes, don't become a Redditor. But be wary, if you wish to customize a window manager like DWM, Dynamic Window Manager, it will require that you are at least comfortable with writing in certain programming languages, such as C or Bash. Just a little FYI there, before you get too deep into the rabbit hole. Desktop environments are also widely customizable, with the ability to download different themes, icons and cursors from the distro store being possible in most if not all of the popular Linux distros. It's as simple as clicking, install and apply. Really powerful stuff if you ask me. With my Manjaro Linux install that I'm recording this video on right now, I haven't actually modified it yet. I do quite enjoy Manjaro's KDE Plasma's default desktop environment. It is right where I want it to be, everything's really simple and nice. I might change it in the future though. But as a general recommendation, if you're coming from Windows, pick either the Cinnamon or XFCE desktop environments. XFCE being extremely light on resources usage, while Cinnamon is a bit more intensive. And if you're coming from the macOS, choose something like GNOME or Budgie. But if you're up for a bit of exploration, try something like KDE Plasma or even i3. It could prove to satisfy your desires while also being extremely usable for whatever tasks you need it to take part in. And for those who are still on the fence as to which one to choose, you're thinking about it too much. Even if the desktop environment is not what you thought or wanted, you can always just stick with it and change it to your likings, or just hop to another environment or window manager. Anyway, that's just my 2 cents. Take it as you will. Thank you for watching. If you found this useful, or if you feel like you pity my scripting and writing skills, consider subscribing and like the video. Have a good new day everyone, and stay safe.